Today's podcast is brought to you by Zipcar.com. Earn $25 of free driving credit at www.joinzipcar.com/SIBSB.
Until I met my new best friend, all of my boys say I'm tripping. When they call, I'm not answering. They always get my voicemail 'cause I'm...
Aristotle, are we rolling? We are rolling. Welcome to another episode of Sorry I've Been So Busy, the podcast where we talk to very busy people about what they're busy with. Sometimes we talk to not very busy people about what they're pretending to be busy with. And you may have noticed I said Aristotle. That's right. We are in Los Angeles. Alex is MIA. We don't know where he is. He's a Burning Man, maybe.
He had a bad trip. He never made it back.
Yeah, I'm here with Andrew Goldstein.
At Ange Gold on Twitter, ANGEGOLD. The Twitter handle stays the same, left coast or right coast.
Yeah, it's in. If we do go to Israel, it's backwards. It's DLOGEGNA.
Something.
Did
like
I nail it?
But and there's a final tzaddik in there.
Yes, but I'm Matt Goldich at Matt Goldich on Twitter, and we're here doing a bunch of episodes in LA, which is very exciting. And we have a great guest coming up in a few minutes. We're very excited about.
Guest.
Yes, and thank you to everybody for your nice comments. And Facebook, Twitter, the emails, and everything nice people have said about the podcast. The iTunes reviews.
Yes, that's what you were looking for.
Yes, please rate and review the podcast.
Ratings and reviews, they're very helpful.
Yes.
ApplePodcast.com. Search for Sorry I've Been So Busy, and you can leave a 5-star rating.
It helps separate the wheat from the chaff in the podcast
I
world.
like the chaff.
I mean, chaff is underrated. I'm a chaff guy.
Most guys like the wheat. I'm more of a chaff guy. Have you seen the chaff?
The chaff. At Busy Podcast on Twitter. At Busy Podcast is how you get to the Sorry I've Been So Busy Facebook page. And we should also mention, please check out all the other podcasts on the Showbiz Studios network. At Showbiz Studios on Twitter. They have a YouTube page. All our podcasts are up on YouTube, right?
Yes.
And at the Showbiz page, and then the website, showbizstudios.com. And even though we are not physically in the Showbiz Studios,
and we have
hold
to
them dear in
special
our
thank
hearts.
you to Nerdist and the Nerd Melt Theater for having us here.
Yeah.
Nerd Melt Showroom.
We're guesting.
We're guests.
We're Airbnb-ing here.
Really fun.
We're Aristotle being.
We'll let that one
just let it lie Anyway, it's been a fun trip.
We talked about how's things going?
It's going well.
What are you busy with?
I mentioned to you earlier, I'm staying at some cousin's house, our wife's cousins, and one of the big exciting things is that they have 2 dogs.
Ooh.
And you have a dog.
I do.
Our guest has how many dogs?
Just one.
Just the one.
And I know there's a cat, too.
There's 2 cats.
There's 2 cats.
2 cats and a dog. You're like a Crosby, Stills, and Nash song.
Yeah.
Or, was that them? 2 cats in the yard?
Yeah,
Is that them?
life used to be so hard.
there you
yes,
go.
yeah.
Okay.
You're dating yourself with the reference. But so I'm not an animal person, and I did not grow up with animals. My mom hated cats, so
My family hates cats.
Yeah, and so I for a while I was like I never had the rebellion phase where I just started liking cats because my mom hated them.
I thought
you know what I mean?
About, I never tortured cats.
No, I never. Well, I never did that either. But I always, and then I've had a couple of okay experiences with cats. But dogs, I never grew up with them, and I was always like terrified of them. And nobody ever taught me what you're supposed to do, like when you ring the doorbell and you enter is then the dog jumps at you. And nobody ever taught me that you're supposed to just go right at them and pet them until I was in my 20s. That you're not supposed to just cower in fear and jump back
Run
from
away,
the dog.
yeah.
That just makes them want to attack you more. And so as a result, I continued being sort of fearful of dogs.
They can smell it on you.
But a few years ago, I started really enjoying their company, and then it's very important to me to raise my kid to not be afraid of dogs or to like animals, because I just think and so I'm just pushing. So I was super excited to stay with the dogs with my kid, to have him have a lot of dog experience, and it's been really fun. Although they had 2 older dogs. One tragically passed away, so they still have an older dog, and then they have a puppy, and so the puppy is not fully housebroken. Like, I mean, he's I guess I don't know what his housebroken. He poops outside the house. He's not like
That's good.
but like he's very active, and they have to like keep him like sort of like between two gates so that he doesn't like. And of course, I'm the one who, even though I was told
You
not
left
to,
the gate open.
Somebody left the gate open. No, I left the bathroom door open, and even though I was told not to, and he got in there and like destroyed a roll of toilet paper.
That'll happen.
Yeah, and
You walked in and he was sitting like a human on the toilet.
and yes,
You're like, hey,
exactly, yeah.
what the?
Wow, he's very advanced. But I was very
I'm not even mad.
I think it would have been a better like transition, because in terms of my son, to have him meet like two older, more chill dogs, because the younger one is like the puppy's kind of all over him, and he's definitely fearful of it. But I'm glad that he's like working through it. Like he still is super excited that the dogs are there. He's super excited to like see them. He's like asking where are the doggies. You know, he likes to pet them. He likes
Who
to put
let the dogs out?
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Yes.
Ironically, the answer is Matt.
Yes, I did.
All this time?
Yeah, I'd let dog into the bed. But I mean, you did not grow up with dogs, right?
Didn't grow up with pets at all.
Yeah, and now
so it's
you've
all
become
been-
a full.
Now I'm a psychopath.
Dog person.
If I see a dog on the street, I make noises and faces and
I'm the same way.
a million. You know,
I never.
I'm not allowed. Should I talk during
No,
this?
you can talk.
Yes.
Did we mention
Okay,
that?
okay.
Yeah. I never I never want to own a dog, but I do want to become the kind of person who loves dogs, if that
Changed
makes
my life.
sense. Yeah.
Changed
And
my life.
it's very important for me, because like my whole life I've sort of been fearful of everything. I'm sort of just generally a fearful person, and I don't want. I'm super conscious, probably overly so, about making sure that my kid is not
we've been
fearful.
It's good. We've been talking about doing a kid and dog play date between
Yes.
Graham and Dusty.
I think he would love that. He loves he loves seeing dog, and he knows clearly it was not me who taught him. This was his mother who taught him to put his hand
put the
out,
hand
so
out.
the dog licks it. Because but he so it's just been fun to stay with dogs. It's like. It's a fun little few-day vacation to like live with some dogs, and then you can be like, okay, I can go home and not.
but
have
don't
to, like,
they?
worry
Isn't
about
the
it.
other dog like a giant Portuguese water dog?
Yes, so they had two Portuguese water dogs. One, the puppy is also a Portuguese water dog. So yeah, they're
they're very big.
Yes, but the older one is more lackadaisical. He's more of a chill. Although he does, like, if you leave your food like too close to the edge of the counter, like he will like
gone.
jump up and like but it's been fun. It's been fun staying with the dog. So
Well,
yeah.
that's good.
Yeah,
That's
so
good. You're a
that's
good
been-
father, Matt.
Yeah, it's been a nice doggy vacation. Thank you. Yes, that's what I'm fishing for. Yeah, I want to be a good father, and when it comes to like water skiing, like he can learn that to not be
Somebody
afraid of
else-
that from somebody else.
Somebody
yeah,
else
like
can
that's
teach
not
him
going to
about
be me.
contact sports.
Who's going to like be like, hey, it's time for you to learn the jet ski. Yeah.
You can learn about gluten from somebody else.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. Well, he'll have to if he wants me to survive and to
Sorry,
see him
I
off to
can't-
college. Yeah.
I'm not going to that pizza place with you, Graham.
Yeah. Unless they have, my crust. All right, let's take a break, and then we'll be right back with our guests. For you, the listeners of Sorry I've Been So Busy, Zipcar is offering $25 of free driving credit at zipcar.com. This is something we've talked about before. Parking in New York City, big hassle. I'm sure it's the same in other places. Who wants to deal with a rental car place? So Zipcar, you just get a membership. Get out of here anytime you want. It's great. To earn $25 of free driving credit, go to joinzipcar.com/SIBSB. Again, that's joinzipcar.com/SIBSB to earn free driving credit. And we're back, everybody. Welcome. Wow, that was so long.
Such a long break.
That was
Oh
sorry
my
for all the
God.
commercials.
We got into so many
apologize.
pet
Boy,
stories.
A lot of
Yeah.
MeUndies.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's.
mattress.
Well, this is somebody who we both know, sort of separately but together, and we're very excited to have him on. Why don't you go ahead and introduce?
Well,
our guest?
I've known him for a very long time. He was my host on TRL, the original TRL, and we've since become buds and food obsessed. We're on different coasts, but we share our pictures and share our affinity for gluttonous food. And if he's in town, we usually go eat somewhere fun, and vice versa. Damien Fahey.
Yes, thanks for having me, guys.
Current writer for Family Guy.
Yeah.
Correct.
Buried the lead. Buried the
Yes.
lead, as I often do.
I like that
Comedian.
setup, though. That was nice. We've known each other for a while. We
Long
worked together.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you grow up
And he was always very fun to work with. You know, there were a lot of...
losers?
what was your title?
I was a writer, but like,
You writer, but you'd hold the cue cards.
you know, as a writer, you were also floor producer.
You were, that's right, writer, floor producer. But you were one of the floor producers who kind of... There were some floor producers who took the job of floor producing TRL way too seriously, to the point like where you would feel nervous if you
Yeah.
messed up or flubbed a line. And this guy was like, just go out there, have a good time. He would get me laughing. He'd get the other VJs laughing. He'd like make fun of the kids sometimes, like get them laughing. And
I was like
he
deep into
excellent.
like the time of, it was the time in my life where like stand up was happening, and you know, I was using it as like, well, there's an audience, and I was just like talking to the kids and looking for, you know, the attention was fun, and then like the second cameras broke, I would just tell it because I had just come off WWE.
Right.
Like literally I got fired from WWE, and within like a week I started on TRL.
So I go backstage and ignore Rihanna and listen to wrestling stories
Yeah.
from Andrew.
Yeah.
Which is the wrong move. I should have
You
talked
know,
to
that was
Rihanna.
yes,
it would have been better for
probably.
you.
Yeah.
Career-wise, yeah, I probably should have talked to Rihanna. She could probably, yeah. Although honestly, she probably wouldn't have remembered you, and he did. So,
That's true.
you know,
That's
you know,
true.
that's probably for
That's
the better.
true.
Yeah. Did you grow up with animals in the house, or did you?
I did, yeah. I grew up hardcore, like, cat lover.
Mm-hmm.
We had a cat growing up, then we got 2 cats, and then we got 3 cats, and now my parents have 2 cats. So just a lot of cats.
I was going to say, if you were going to keep going beyond 3,
yeah.
you're getting into then cat people territory.
that's right,
Like, is
that's
there?
right.
I don't know what the number is.
The number,
where you
I think
become
if you have 3, you're like, that's a lot of cats, but that's not a crazy amount of cats. If you have 4,
you're
that's a crazy
They
amount.
they come and shut you down if you have like 6, 7 cats.
Oh, yeah. Some people do.
4 is like where like blankets start to be replaced by newspapers, like that kind
Yeah,
of
right,
thing. Like,
exactly.
yeah, you don't want to be that.
Yeah.
So only cats growing up?
Only cats growing up until I met my now wife. I came out to LA and stayed with her back in 2008, and she had a dog. And I was never a fan of dogs. I actually didn't like dogs.
Oh.
But her dog made me fall in love with dogs. And now all I want is another dog. I'm dying to get another dog.
Yeah.
And I'm like you now, where I've done a total 180, and I see a dog on the street, and I'm more into the dog than the owner is into the dog.
100%.
Which is really weird. I'm like, I'm like, I'll go right to the dog, and I'll do like a little high pitched voice that I'd only reserve for dogs.
Yes.
And if it's a boy, I'll call him like a little gentleman, and if it's a female, I'll say she's a very pretty lady and she's well behaved. Like I talk to them more than I talk to the person on the other end of the leash. But I'm in love with dogs, and I want another one really badly.
Can you look at a dog and identify the gender?
Yeah, do you know?
I'm not good at that.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I'm
thought
not
you were
good.
going breeds.
Oh, no, I can't do
Which
that.
I, for a long time, mistakenly would be like, I'm not good with dog brands.
Dog brands, I like that.
Is that an Alpo?
Yeah.
No. So, yeah, no, it's hard to guess. Like, I don't know. I think I'm sexist because I always assume that it's a guy.
I always go, oh, look at the little boy. And
Me
then
too.
Jamie's like, it's a girl.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a male dog, so I always assume every other dog is a male,
Yeah.
unless it's one of those little tiny white dogs that I kind of hate. What are they like? What are they called?
Poodle?
Poodle,
Yeah,
Chihuahua.
like, poodle, or like what's it called? The fluffy one. It's a little white fluffy dog.
Oh, the
Labradoodle?
I'm not good with dog brands.
Yeah, because you're not good with dog brands. Anyway,
No, that's a hybrid.
Yeah.
I assume any sort of girly looking
Sure.
dog is a girl.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. But a lot
I
of
don't
them are
greet a
boys.
dog until I lift it up and look for a little red thing.
That's right.
The red rocket.
That's right.
Do the
I do
dog...
3 flicks.
Yeah, 3 flicks
It
of the
comes
little
out,
mound.
and I'm sure.
Okay, this is a boy.
Does the dog and the cats get along, or what's happening? I mean,
Yeah,
'cause,
yeah,
you know,
if they-
most of my knowledge is
Dogs
from
and cats
cartoons.
living together.
It's from cartoons.
Living together.
Yeah.
No, they
That's a Ghostbusters
Yeah.
reference,
yeah.
by the way.
They
Revelations.
they get along. They've sort of coexist, I guess. The dog beats up the orange cat, tries to hump the orange cat. The gray cat beats up the dog, and then the orange cat beats up the gray cat. So it's a weird sort of a little thing going on.
You're like living in Thundercats.
yeah, exactly.
the cartoon.
Yeah.
You have one of your cats is big, right?
They're about.
Am I wrong about
one
that?
is about 15 pounds, and the
Yeah,
other is
that's a
about
big cat.
13 pounds, I guess. Yeah. Gazpacho and Dakota.
Gazpacho, I love. That's a great name. Why is it with cats more so than dogs? People tend to name cats like Mr. something. Cats always get like Mr.
It's maybe it's. I think it might be funnier.
Yeah,
We have a dog in our neighborhood named Mr. Smith.
that's
That's funny.
Yeah.
Like a beagle can get a Mister. I feel like.
Yeah. Do you like the trend of naming dogs like human names? Like this
Love
is,
it.
This is my dog Chris.
Love it. Love it.
This is
It's my favorite
This
thing.
is David.
This is William.
I
Yeah.
think you have to go fully just name him William the dog.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like if you're gonna, this
Doug.
is my dog, William the dog.
Yeah.
yeah,
Or William Harrington Forsyth III.
yeah.
You know, we got Dusty from Dusty Rhodes
Oh, you did really?
because we got Dusty and he came with the name Daniel, and we were like, we can't like have a dog named Daniel. We
Daniel is not. I'm not. I don't like.
yeah,
that
we
for
need
a
another
dog.
D name, and Dusty Rhodes had just passed away. He's like
Perfect.
he's my 1A, Ric
Perfect.
Flair and Dusty Rhodes, and we were like cycling through all these D names. And I was like, what about Dusty? And he ends up he looks like a dust bunny, like a
Right.
dust ruffle.
Right.
No, wrong use of dust ruffle, but like a ball of dust.
Right.
He's
Yeah.
that color, and we went with it. Now he couldn't be anything else. He's Dusty.
Did Dusty Rhodes have a birthmark on
Yeah,
his belly?
on his belly. He
What
had the
was
big
that?
red splotch.
What was that? Was just a birthmark?
Something like that, yeah.
Wow.
So now
It's
you have
where
to
it
give
was
the
his
dog
life force?
You have to give the
I
dog
always wondered about
the
that.
same
Yeah.
birthmark to match.
Yeah, I burnt him with a brand to match Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah, one of the things we didn't talk
And
about.
my
when
dog
you,
has a
about how
very
much you love dogs
scar-
is that you also love abusing them.
No. My dog has a very scarred forehead, and he wears polka dots.
Oh.
Just like his name sake. No, but yeah, that we got the name from Dusty Rhodes. but,
Interesting,
we
you
don't
didn't
talk
go
about
when you were going through the D names. You did not consider Damien.
Yeah.
it. We didn't get there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
You got
Guys,
there.
after
You got
after
there,
the guy
you
who was
passed
the
over it.
host on your first writing job,
Drago.
Drago.
As a big Rocky fan would have been fun.
That would have been good.
That's a good
We were
name. That's a good name for like an iguana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the G.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, I mean, it's just amazing. TRL, you were like a host, you were like radio DJ, the whole thing, celebrities every single day, and then you've completely 180'd.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, the way you said that makes it sound like it's
No,
bad.
it's just-
celebrities.
you're just-
nonstop parties.
You're just
the private
the
jets,
jacuzzi.
and then you
You-
flamed out.
Cristal by the case,
And now you're on
Now you work at a hot dog stand with an alt-right person. No,
That's right. Yeah. No,
I just mean like
it is. It is kind of crazy.
the second act.
Yeah, right. It is kind of crazy. And everything that I've, I didn't set out. I fell in love with radio when I was 14, and it's all I wanted to do up until the point where I heard of an MTV audition at the radio station in Boston. And I sort of, I said I don't really want to do television. I like doing radio, and I got sort of pushed into this audition, and then I auditioned for MTV, and I loved it, fell in love with it. I said, this is what I want to do. This seems like so much fun. So then I got the job, and I did that for years. And by the last couple of years, I was just sort of tired of, believe it or not, this sounds insane, but I was tired of the job. I was just kind of tired of doing the same thing every day, and you get a little bored. And so it luckily kind of came to an end, I think, at a perfect time, because I was sort of done with it. The audience was done with the show. And so I said, this is a good chance to kind of move out to LA with a clean slate and try. I've always wanted to do improv like UCB when I was on TRL, but I felt self-conscious about being the MTV guy in a UCB class. And so I came out here and I said, I'm just going to fucking get into, an improv class out here. And I did, and got on a team, and then it was sort of the beginning of like, maybe I can do this funny comedy thing.
No, that's really. I mean, it's really hard to have the. It can be humbling to start to once you've had success in one field to then just start over in another sort of similar area, but like a different and so not everybody. Some people would just be like, oh, I'm gonna ride out this other thing as long as I can, because it's too scary to start over.
Right.
And so that's good that you
give Hillary Duff news every day.
Exactly. Yeah. To be the 60-year-old guy, talking about Pretty Little Liars. But I mean, I think it's it's good that you had you weren't scared to do that.
Oh, I was.
Oh,
I was
well, I mean, yeah,
insanely scared.
Not
to do
too
it.
scared to actually do it, but yeah, no, that is, yeah. I mean, that is crazy. Like, did people like when you started over, like doing like level 1, like improv? Like, did people in the class know that you were like
They wouldn't
you had
say
a past
it.
life?
They wouldn't say it, in the first class. But then when they get more comfortable with me and with each other,
Yeah.
around class 5, it would sort of come out in scenes
Mm-hmm.
a lot.
Right.
They'd be like hey, I'm really good friends with Carson Daly, they'd say, and then they'd want me to like walk on. as
Strong
Carson
move off
Daly.
the wall.
Yeah,
Strong move
really,
off the wall.
really top level improvisation. So things
and
like
then
that.
you go, look, somebody has a gun.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm not Carson Daly. I'm a space doctor.
You're like, no, but
Yeah. So it would sort of come out and things like that. But I was very nervous to do improv. I mean, I told my wife, I told Gracie, I'm like, wow, I'm really going to kind of find out if I'm funny or not, and this is going to be really crushing if I find out I'm not funny. So I did it, and I'm like, oh, I'm actually like, I was actually pretty good at it. So it gave me some confidence. And then I took a writing course there, a late night monologue joke writing course at the theater, and wrote like 20 monologue jokes every week.
Yeah.
And it was like a 7-week course, and you read them to the class, and the class started with like 12 people who wanted to do it, and by
whittles down, yeah.
about 4 who were still writing jokes. It's because it's really hard. And you get an honest critique on each monologue joke. And you guys have both written monologue jokes. You know how difficult they can be. And,
Yeah.
and rarely are any of them actually funny to people who've written monologue
yeah, are
jokes.
usable.
No, none of them are.
None of them are.
I've written millions, and
Yeah.
they're all terrible.
That's not true.
Go on.
They're good enough to be made into
It's a
memes.
volume.
Yeah, sure,
it's
yes.
a volume.
It is a
skill.
volume. It's a
volume skill.
You have to churn them out
Yeah.
to find the one gem.
Exactly. So I did that, and then the Twitter thing blew up with people just writing jokes on Twitter. So I just kind of got in on that, and that was the beginning of the joke writing.
Twitter, when I moved to LA, when did you move to LA?
2009.
Yeah, so I moved here in like 2010, late 2010, early 2011, and it was like when
The
Twitter
heyday.
it was like the heyday of Twitter. It was
Right.
like back when you would go on Twitter and like it was just fun. Like now it's become sort of like a necessary grind.
Before
almost.
Twitter
I mean,
ruined the world and
Yes.
the fabric of society.
yes,
but I love it.
and vice versa. You know,
yeah.
It was like it was Josh Comers who was like who told me. I ran into him at a bar and I was like, I was talking to him at a bar. And he was telling me about somebody. I go, "How do you know that guy?" And he was like, "I know him through Twitter." And I was just like, "What?" Like that concept did not make any sense to me. Like I was like, "Oh, the only people I know follow on Twitter and who follow me are people I already know." And so the fact that you were able to actually like, they like when I moved here, there were still like tweet ups, like you would get together with people, but. It was fun. It was fun to like get on there.
Everyone was on it.
Yeah.
Every like shared experience.
We're talking about this like it was like 30 years, like it was Woodstock, but it was like
every
6
shared
years ago.
experience, like award shows and
Yeah.
like press conferences and stuff. Like everyone was tweeting, and you were like, "Oh my god, I got a fave from." from Damien Fahey.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Or Michael Ian Black followed me. This
Oh my
is amazing.
God.
Yeah. It's
That was big. That was a big deal.
yeah. I mean, and the thing is, like, of all of the time wasters, Twitter is the best one because of all the like procrastination tools because you're writing. Like,
I
it's
agree.
I
I
it's like
agree.
you're writing jokes.
Now it's just all Trump, which sucks.
Yeah.
Because
You can't escape it.
You can't go on and read sort of. It was fun reading jokes about the grocery store, reading jokes about whatever. And now it's just
It's such a
nonstop
hard
Trump.
thing to complain about. Like, man, you're like, man, Trump's really ruined Twitter.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I really, as someone who likes to write jokes on Twitter, this administration's been very difficult for me.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
feel
yeah.
like you don't have much of a leg to stand on compared to like the person whose like kids are getting like kicked out of the country or whatever. Like,
I always loved the construction of when like a celebrity would die and you'd be like R.I.P. to so and so, and then a joke about like their past career, like in lieu of flowers send blank, or he was buried in blank.
Right.
Those were always like those ones always cracked me up. I always loved writing those.
Yeah.
Like the celebrities
Like
where
the-
it's not mean.
No, it's like the creator of the Post-it died.
Yeah.
Like his funeral will be posted on the refrigerator. Of,
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
kind of stuff.
Yeah. And that's sort of like you kind of like got discovered through Twitter, right? Or you like built up a following pretty fast.
Well, I had a decent following. I had about like 12,000 people from MTV, the MTV days. who knew me. And then, I just started writing jokes, and I got more and more followers. And then somewhere, I think around 50,000 followers, Seth MacFarlane started following me and retweeting me frequently.
That's what I'm saying. It's
and
like,
then,
oh my God, Seth MacFarlane followed me.
And then he would just, follow Friday me and retweet me. And back in those days, you could get 5,000, 7,000, people with a single retweet from someone like that. And so I got, I think I'm 183 or something, 184 maybe, I think right now. But it's mostly just due to his retweets.
Were there people who thought that like you were like the Damien Fahey account that like people were writing jokes for? Like, were there people that thought like it wasn't really you, or no, that like
that I had the hired writers or something?
Yeah.
Oh, like the Conan thing. No, no one's ever asked me that.
No, I'm just I'm just wondering like because obviously like you're you,
right.
But like there must be people that know you from the MTV days
of course.
that like still can't believe that like
right.
or like they see your name in the credits of Family Guy and are like, oh, it's probably a different Damien Fahey
totally,
or something or like
No, I mean that seems like a logical thing. I think there were a lot of people who I would get a lot of responses like, "Wow, you're way funnier on here than you were on TRL."
Yeah, they never asked me to I wasn't doing a monologue.
I mean,
that wasn't the job.
If you improvised a joke on TRL, everybody in the control room would have been, "What?
Yeah,
what did he just say?"
It's not in the script. I used to try things we used to try funny goofy things, and it would just always be sort of met with resistance. I feel like they were never really embraced.
Well, let's get back to that Blink-182 video.
Yeah, right.
Meanwhile, you almost were a late night talk show host.
Yeah, that's true.
The other crazy.
Well,
that is
I
true.
was going to bring up
out here,
mutual friend Joel Solomon, who sort of went through that whole journey with you.
Right.
What's like a fun Joel Solomon story?
Oh yeah. Everyone has been asking for your fun stories about Joel Solomon.
Joel Solomon. Joel's the best. I mean, Joel. I met Joel at MTV TRL. It was an after party after the show one night, and it was a bar in Times Square, and it was literally like maybe the first time I had hosted the show ever. And so we're having this little party and up on the second floor of some Irish bar. And I'm talking with a couple of the PAs and whatnot, and Joel just comes over, and the first thing he said to me is, "You're Jewish, aren't you?" And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "I've been watching you, and the way you tell jokes on the show and your sense of humor, you're Jewish." And I'm like, "I'm not Jewish. I'm actually not Jewish. I grew up in a town with like 90% Jewish people, but I'm not Jewish. Maybe I've taken on some of the attributes, but I am not. I swear to you, I'm not Jewish. I am almost 100% Irish." So that was my first interaction with Joel. But after he said that, I was like, well, I kind of like this guy.
Yeah,
and we just became
he
friends.
He disarms you with awkwardness.
Totally. And
that's his whole move.
And then just to watch him be awkward with people who don't know his deal is really great. But a Joel story, I'm trying to think of a great Joel story.
But yeah, so he told the story on the podcast. Like you got the opportunity to
for the Late Late Show
to host the Late Late Show.
Yeah, we had pitched a bunch of gags for that. Like they wanted the showrunner wanted you to basically come in with a packet of ideas and bits and jokes that you could possibly use on the show. So I sent in a bunch of I got some like four of my buddies together who are writers, and we came up with a bunch of different ideas for the show, different like desk pieces and things like that. And Joel pitched something like he wanted to do like a game. This is going to sound like, well, yeah, everyone's done that, but it's just because Fallon's been doing it for like 10 years now. But I swear this did seem
at the time
this seemed kind of new. And it was like, he's like, I think it'd be cool to do a game with every celebrity that comes on the show. And so we had Joel in a sleeping bag with like a flashlight. And Joel he almost looks like a large child. He's very childish looking, and he sort of talks, like this, and he's kind of just, he's like a child, really.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's Joel in a big sleeping bag, and he comes out, and I believe it was Christy Brinkley who was on the show, and the bit was, will you get into the sleeping bag with Joel?
Oh my God.
And so, I think she did get into the sleeping bag with Joel. and we're like, you got to zip it up. They zipped up the
whole way.
The whole way.
And I'm sure he whispered something super funny / awkward.
Totally. Yeah.
It makes it sound like Joel is a pervert, but really he's in it for the comedy.
Oh yeah,
he
just wants to laugh.
He's fully in it for the comedy of Christy Brinkley and getting in the sleeping bag.
He wants to laugh so bad. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, that was like one of the bits that we pitched for that show.
It's crazy to think of a world where you're hosting that show and Craig Ferguson is a writer for Family Guy.
Oh my God! Wow, that'd be weird.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Bizarro.
It's so different now though. I like late night because people are like, oh, we just don't want to host late night, and it's just I don't know. It's a different show now.
It's a whole.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't sing and dance. I don't.
It's a different job now.
I don't know if I could sit in a car with Mariah Carey and earnestly sing songs with some. I would probably get annoyed with that.
Or
Yeah.
in an accident.
Or in an
Every
accident.
Land Rover I see in L.A., I'm like, is that James Corden?
Yeah.
It is crazy that they're actually driving. That seems,
Dangerous.
Your social media, you and your wife, a lot of food, a lot of drink, a lot of cocktails.
We love cocktails.
You take a lot of pictures of cocktails.
We love cocktails. I had a couple before I got here, actually.
Oh, yeah?
You deserve
Nice.
it.
Thank you.
What you?
It's Thursday.
I feel like you.
Why not?
It feels that you guys have a lot of fun as a married couple.
We do. We do have a lot of fun as a married couple, and yeah, we do. I don't know.
I had a really fun. My wife and I had a fun brunch with you guys where we forgot that we drove there, and we had so many cocktails that we were like, "Oh man,
What are we gonna?
yeah, how are we getting home?" We were like, "It was what's it called? Gracias Madre."
Was this pre-Uber?
This was when we lived in LA. We sort of moved away right before Uber blew up,
Right.
and
It was just Twitter. There was nothing.
There was
else.
just Twitter, no Uber.
Just Twitter and eBay.
Yes, exactly.
Do we buy a car and have it sent to this restaurant?
Yeah, I have I can get a car for $3,000 in the next
2-day shipping.
in an
Yeah.
hour. But that's now Uber. Changed everything. Obviously, you don't even need a car.
I didn't
Yeah.
rent a car this trip. I'm just Ubering.
Yeah. I just Lyft out here because I don't agree with Uber's business practices. But
I know.
Lyft is great. I'm only using Lyft Premier.
What's that?
It's double the price, but the car doesn't smell. The driver doesn't talk to you.
Wow.
It's a nicer car. It's just a better experience.
Yeah.
I think it's worth it. I don't Lyft a lot, so I think it's worth it.
I only use Breitbart. That's the only
Breitbart?
car service I use. Yeah, I go to Breitbart.
Breitbart Premier.
Yeah, I go to Breitbart, and they
the driver does talk to you.
yeah, he picks you up,
And his skin is failing.
Yes.
Miserably.
Yeah.
His skin is in terrible shape.
Should we? What else? Is there anything else, or should we talk about Damien's
Yeah,
day?
we can get into his day.
What is a day? Well, okay. Well, hold on. Actually, first of all, you're off right now.
I'm on hiatus.
Yeah.
In hiatus, basically, I'm a television writer, and you get a chunk of time when the show doesn't need to be written, doesn't need to be, doesn't need to be written. So the
Yeah.
writers get basically like a big summer break off.
Yeah.
And this isn't for every show, the summer break, but for every show, there is a break throughout the year. It's
It really works for our podcast schedule.
This
Yeah.
is great.
This
Yeah,
is
this is great.
Please thank Seth and the folks at Fox for
Yeah,
making
they
it.
knew
Not
we
allowed
were
to talk.
coming. They were like, okay, we'll
Yeah.
rejigger some things, make sure Damien's available.
But I don't know. Andrew? What do you think? You want to talk about a vacation day in the life of Damien, a work day?
Well, I
What's
think
the most?
a day writing on the show is
Oh,
kinda
sure.
fun.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
What a typical day in the getting yourself to the writer's room in the writer's room.
Sure.
All that good stuff.
I
you think that's interesting,
I think it is. I get up kind of like at an insane hour. I get up at 6:30 in the morning, and I go to work out at 7, from 7 to 8. And
every day.
Monday through, not every day. Usually you take Thursdays off or something.
Empty stomach.
Yeah, empty stomach for sure. It may be a protein bar if I'm like really feeling like low
Yeah.
blood sugar. Go work out for an hour and then get the endorphins up. Come home.
Do you work out with your wife?
No. There's a lot of shame with me saying this. I do CrossFit, and I know.
No, there's no.
great.
But my wife thinks it's very douchey, and that
Well,
she doesn't want anything to do with.
It's become a community. It's almost like a social network, right?
I guess so. I don't know. It's a whole thing. Anyway, but I will say this. There's a lot of kind of ridiculous parts about it, like the branding and stuff, but it's the only thing that I stick to and I keep with and I actually enjoy.
Well,
so,
you look great.
Thank you. So I do that.
You don't have to apologize to the gluten-free guy about doing something that seems douchey.
Right,
Like that's
yeah.
I'm the last person you need.
Yeah, there's a guy eating a pork shank right now, just livid.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then I come home after my workout, and I usually jump in the shower, come back out, make a protein shake, get ready for work, take the shake out the door, drive 15 minutes to the Family Guy, and
What's the shit? What's the shake?
What's in the shake?
oh, really?
Yeah, let's go.
We,
All right.
we,
Get
we
into it.
dive
All right.
deep, buddy.
This is so. My shake is actually I got it from this. His name is Dr. Mercola, and he has a bunch of YouTube videos.
Wow.
And a big website about health. And so what I do is I'll put some almond milk into a Vitamix.
So far, so good.
Okay. A banana.
Yeah,
Love
great.
banana.
3 raw eggs.
Oh, wow, like Rocky style.
Yeah, like Rocky style.
Whoa.
Banana protein powder. Scoop of peanut butter. Little scoop of coconut oil. And then I put like frozen raspberries or frozen blueberries or frozen strawberries
So-
in to give it more of a
Besides
consistency.
Besides the eggs, I pretty much, my wife makes me basically
It's
the
delicious.
same thing.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Do the
al-
eggs cook in the blending?
No, I don't know. But
How do you know they don't?
No,
I mean,
they
can't
don't.
you get diseases from
Yeah,
that?
once it mixes with stuff.
once it mixes with stuff, I think you're fine. But also, I think it's overblown.
Is
I
that a
think-
myth?
I think it is a myth. Yeah.
I don't
See, that's
care
the thing. I grew up in a house where we were scared of dogs and raw eggs and
Yeah.
raw chicken.
I don't know. I'm
It was
just I'm
yeah.
just drinking them. I don't give a shit. If
Okay.
Yeah.
whatever happens, happens. I've had a good life. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
sure. You got to, you know.
You go.
You were on MTV at
All right.
what age?
22.
22.
Oh, you're
So
good.
raw eggs.
What else?
What's the
Raw
worst that
eggs,
could
baby.
happen? Yeah.
So anyway, so I do that. Get in my car. Go to Family Guy. Sip the shake while I'm driving. Play some music that gets me pumped
Yeah,
up.
what are you listening to in the car?
It depends on the day, but it could be anything from Tom Petty,
Sure.
Stevie B.
Wow.
It could be some easy listening, Mike and the Mechanics.
Yeah,
Sure.
sure.
It could be even
Helpful if your car breaks down.
helpful if the
There
car
you
breaks.
go.
So something that's going to get me pumped up
Yeah.
to go in there.
Well, I know you're a drummer,
Yeah, that's right.
so a lot of air drumming.
A lot of air drumming.
Can you drive an air drum?
I can, but I will air drum and then grab the wheel.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then
it's
air
a
drum,
constant
and then grab the
cycle
wheel.
of air drumming, grabbing
Right,
the wheel.
right.
What's the best air drumming song?
Oh, I mean, in the air tonight.
Yeah, in the air tonight's a pretty great.
It's got
air
the
drumming.
big soul. It's got the big
yeah.
do 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 do. Yeah.
I was going to say.
Rush, anything Rush is great.
Living in the limelight.
Anything Neil Peart, yeah.
I was going to say Jack and Diane.
That's a great one too.
Yeah.
yeah.
The,
Doom, 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 doom,
yeah.
doom,
The,
doom,
the solo. Yeah.
yeah.
So let it rock.
And let it roll.
So you roll into work with your shake.
So I go into it right, and I got all that momentum,
Yeah.
and then I'm unfunny for the whole day.
Yes.
And then I'm like, well, that didn't work.
One more air drumming do you twirl the stick in the
No,
air?
I don't do
air,
that.
Do you air twirl the stick?
No, I don't do that.
Cymbal crash, throw it up.
No, I don't
miss
do a
it.
lot of. I don't do a lot of like fancy. Yeah.
When you're air drumming to Def Leppard, do you only use the one arm? That's actually probably.
That was a Halloween. I did that for Halloween. I was him, and I committed, and I had the arm behind me
Yeah.
with the empty sleeve the whole night. And people who didn't know me at this party thought I was an amputee.
Wow.
If you're
Wow.
going to air drum while driving, he's probably the best.
Yeah, you want to do
Probably the
pour some
guy.
sugar
One
on
arm
me.
on the wheel,
Yeah.
and you got the
Hysteria.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, hysteria. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was all with his feet.
Yeah. They made a
Which you
special. They made
shouldn't-
a special kit for him.
Yeah, which you shouldn't mimic while driving because you're just hitting pedals.
Yeah, that's right.
You're just indiscriminately hitting pedals.
Yeah.
So you get to work.
Get to work around 10:30. We get called to the main room, which is the big writer's room, and we are typically working on a script that needs to be rewritten. So it's a first draft, and rooms get sent out. They say, the cutaway on page 6 could be better. I think we'll send a room out, of people. And then there's another room that gets sent out on the, in the end of Act 1 needs a big joke. I think we could beat the joke that's on the page here. And so I'll go off into, one of those rooms, either the cutaway or the end of Act 1 room, or I'll stay in the main room and sort of just work on line by line dialogue rewriting.
Yeah.
And then it's just literally sitting in a room with 6 or 7 people, and you kind of shoot the shit, talk about, what you did over the weekend, look at YouTube videos, and then at some point everything just kind of, the conversation peters out, there's quiet,
No
and
pun
then there's
intended.
and then there's the first pitch. And then if it's a good pitch, you can kind of jump on board, you can pitch, different lines for the joke or whatever. So
someone is like a writer's assistant is typing, and is it projected onto like?
It is. It's
and
on
you
a
can all
screen.
see-
Yeah, it's on a screen. We have great writers assistants who get down everything, and then
And you just treat them like shit.
and they're pieces of shit.
Yeah, they're subhuman.
Yeah.
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 I eat their lunches.
Yeah.
What's up, nerd?
Stick their head in the toilet bowls.
And then when they, in 5 years, when they become your bosses,
I'm the
you're
nicest
fucked.
guy. I'm the nicest
Yeah.
guy to them. Absolutely. That's
Yeah.
my personality. And so, so they write everything down. And so at the end of the day, you have the guy running the room who says, print it up. And then we'll take a look at the 5 or 6 funniest ideas. And then if he likes them, we'll start writing them up as a group in the room. And then at the end of the day, you get called in to the main room again. Both rooms do, into the main room. And that's when you pitch the gags in the voice of the characters. And whichever is the funniest one typically tends to get in
Yeah.
the show.
That's so cool. What about the before that, like breaking the story?
Oh yeah, well there's that too. That's less fun. I mean, that's more of just being in a room with 6 people and someone pitches either the EPs give us a story like to work on, like, hey, Peter goes to Fenway Park or whatever.
Yeah.
That's all you get. And then it's like, okay, well, let's break this out. Like, what's the first scene going to be? What's the second scene? What's the end of Act 1, Act 2? Where does it go?
Yeah.
Beginning, middle, and end kind of a thing. And that's a lot more, for me, that's a lot more difficult. The story is still tricky.
Have you had something from your life like make it into the show, or like something from your experience, or something that was your idea that ended up being an idea for the show? Or
I pitched my last episode. I pitched that I had been watching a lot of Netflix like food documentaries. I kind of got insane about it, and I was on like 6 different diets within the course of like 6 months. And I was like, this is the diet. And then I'd watch another video and be like, no, this is the diet. No, it's vegan. No, wait, it's paleo. No, wait, it's
Whole 30.
yeah. So I was kind of obsessed with these things. I said, this might be actually a cool idea for an episode. Maybe like, Lois sees one of these and decides to throw out all the junk in the house, and Peter in the middle of the night, craves something bad. So he goes into his car and he drives to the local, food mart, and he brings a panini press with him, and he starts to like make garbage sandwiches basically in his car and eating them. And then guys come up and they say, hey, we'll buy those off of you. And it's like, our wives won't let us eat this.
That was an episode.
And so
Yeah.
this was an episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is Saturated Fat Guy. So I pitched, I pitched that, and then it just, they were like, that's your episode. We like that idea.
And then you get like people listening who might not know anything or a little bit, like when you like in the episode when it says written by Damien,
Right.
Fahey, that means the nugget of the idea or the full script was written by you, first draft, before all the jokes get.
That's right. When it says written by, it means that it was written by the writer. The first draft was written by the writer. And what you're seeing on the air is 100% a collaboration between the 15 other writers.
I don't think people understand.
People don't know that. People think, hey, I love that joke that you wrote about. Someone said my last episode, they go, I love that cutaway about like the pumpkins, the pumpkin talking to like the squash or something. And I said, oh, thanks so much. Someone messaged me on Twitter, and I said, thanks so much. That's awesome. I said, that was actually an Alex Sulkin pitch. I always give credit where credit is due, because I don't want to take credit for someone else's funny idea. But and also that episode, like, I did get a lot of my own stuff in, which I was very happy about.
That's great.
That wasn't rewritten, which was cool.
yeah. Well, how many episodes have you had your name on now? Or
I've written 4. 2 have come out.
nice.
Yeah. So there'll be one. The new season starts in September.
There's a bigger lag.
Yeah, it takes
on
a
an
year.
Animated show.
It takes a year.
Wow.
I mean, sometimes longer. You finish your draft and you hand it in, and then they rewrite it. They take it to the table read. If whatever doesn't get laughs, rewrite it. They take it to black and white version of the kind of like stutter animation.
Yeah.
Whatever doesn't get laughs with that, you go back, you rewrite it. They take it to color. Finally, you kind of see it as it appears on air without the credits and stuff. Whatever doesn't get laughs with that, you rewrite it. So it's a constant
so
rewrite.
Tough in this world of instant gratification to
Totally.
to be in that process and then not get the gratification until like a year later when it airs.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, that thing I wrote that fucking a year and a half ago.
I find too where by the time that show aired, or by the time an episode airs, I've already written maybe one or two more.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's a good.
Which joke is that joke in this one?
That's
or?
a good episode, but wait till my next one.
Yeah.
And then when that airs, it's like, no, that's a good episode, but wait till the next one. That's going to be so.
I know Andrew's going to ask, so what's lunch like in the writers' room?
Yeah, I was just going to say, what's the craft service situation?
Lunch is it's a pretty good situation. We do have a big craft services area, bagels in the morning, cream cheese, a big fridge full of LaCroix and
pamplemousse.
popsicles, and there's a cabinet full of Trader Joe's like chocolates, like mint chocolate little things, and giant bags of chips and pretzels, and there's tons of snack food there. And then lunch is you in the morning you get to your desk and there's a menu placed on your desk from one of the PAs and you just kind of circle what you want off the menu, whatever restaurant they happen to be going to that day, and then you hand it in, and then magically and more importantly free, it just appears on a table with the rest of the writers' lunches, and then you go and you eat lunch.
You have to have a lot of discipline in situations like that.
It's tough. It's tough.
Because you want to get the burger, you want to get the crazy the mac and cheese, but sometimes you're just like, I got to do a salad.
Oh yeah, and then that's kind of the running, I think, joke amongst the PAs is like, Damien always gets the salmon and the salad, like this,
right?
When I could be getting like the barbecue pulled pork sandwich.
Well, it's also like, if you're gonna eat bad food, you want it to be good. If that makes sense, like you don't want to waste your calorie allowance on like a shitty who wants to eat a big like lunch in the middle of the day and feel gross?
Right.
But that is
if I'm going to eat a burger, I'm going to go to In-N-Out.
A big part of
double animal style. Shake.
A big part of our modern friendship, our current friendship, is communicating. Like you post something, I'm being like, "Yo, I got to try that when I come out to LA." And I post something, you're like, "Yo, where is that place? Holy shit!"
Yeah.
And then we did burgers the last time you came out.
Yeah.
Zach Linder.
That's so good. Where did we go in that hotel? That was
we went to the Parker Meridian. Burger joint in the Parker.
Have you been in there? It's so good.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
Back when you were eating bread.
I think back when I was eating bread, I wonder if they have a bun,
a gluten-free
now. Shake Shack has the gluten-free bun, which has revolutionized everything, and also Shake Shack just opened in my neighborhood.
They're opening a Shake Shack in my neighborhood, and I'm fucking. It's so
it's dangerous.
It's so dangerous.
Yeah.
The one just opened here, right?
Oh yeah. There's one in West Hollywood, and then I want to say maybe there's another one. Oh yeah, there's one by the Americana.
Yeah,
in Glendale.
I'm hardcore on the Shake Shack over In-N-Out. When that debate comes up,
really, I'm not. No, I think Shake Shack's really good, but something about animal.
The gluten-free bun as the glutar Clint. I mean, back in the day, the fact that the In-N-Out had the protein style was revolutionary because because it's the one fast food burger that you can really enjoy without the bun. The fact that you can actually pick it up and eat it like a burger in the as opposed to like there's something like nobody wants like a Big Mac that you're cutting with like a knife and fork.
Yeah, I don't want to see that meat without a bun and a million.
Oh my God, no.
Yeah. Can you imagine
the color of that meat?
No, I don't want like a big gray patty.
Yeah.
No, I do like McDonald's. I'm not going to shit on it.
I had it 3 years ago in Ireland. I was drunk and it was the only place open.
That's what you do when you travel.
I took 2 bites of a Big Mac. I remember loving these things as kids. They were amazing. And I was like, this is fucking horrible. This doesn't even taste like food.
Yeah.
I like the singles.
Really?
The single
Maybe I should have gone
burgers.
singles.
That's my move. The 2 singles, the fries, and
I was shocked.
I try. There's certain things like I have a Coke probably once a year. And that's about the right amount. I think that's about
right.
You look
right.
like a Coke once a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Where does this happen?
You know what's funny? My wife and I on our anniversary, this is the weirdest thing. We went to Peter Luger's for lunch.
Yep.
And I had a Coke there. Isn't that the strangest place to have a Coke?
Well, if you're going to splurge.
I was like, I had a Coke. I think I had a Coke and then a red wine. It was like a weirdest combination of
that is very weird.
And you didn't like the bacon. You're like, Robin
I thought the
makes
Peter
the
Luger's bacon was a little overrated.
And everybody loves the bacon.
Yeah.
Why is it? Is it super thick or is
it's
it
very
it's this thick bacon?
Yeah.
But the thing you can buy the Peter Luger's bacon in the package at the supermarket, the Peter Luger's brand bacon, and we make it at home, and we make it like super crispy. And at the restaurant, I found it not crispy enough.
They don't go. I say extra crispy at pretty much every restaurant.
Yeah,
I would say 90% of them don't make it crispy enough.
And the thick bacon has to be crispy, or it's like chewy.
Yeah. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
When's the day end? Are you there late?
No, around 5.
Really?
Around 5 o'clock.
So you're working pretty much all day, and then you get out at 5.
Yeah.
They're not keeping you there.
Yeah,
late.
I mean, it's. I can't even say how fun it is. It's a great job. I would say. I mean, people are always like, "Do you like? What was your favorite job? Like doing TRL or doing this?" I'm like, "Well, for my 20s,
Sure. Yeah, of
I
course.
wouldn't want to have been a writer in my 20s. Like that's I had the best job.
Yeah.
The key to New York City. I was.
Who wants to?
on a hit show.
Who doesn't want to hang out behind set risers talking about Vince McMahon?
Yeah, exactly. But I think,
And talking to celebrities,
And talking to
playing
celebrities,
games and
yeah.
getting free stuff.
right. But I would say for my 30s, I just like, oh man, I love going into work. I love the people I work with. They're super funny and they're nice and they're fun. And it's just a fun environment to
So
work in.
if you get out at 5 in LA, still light out.
Yeah, still
I
light
feel like
out,
you
for
have
the
like-
most part.
You have like
Most part of the year,
so
it's still
many
light out.
options of what you could do.
Yeah,
after
well, my
work.
wife is always like, if I get out early for, maybe 4, sometimes we get out, and my wife's like, let's go, meet at Osteria La Buca and grab some, Italian or
Right.
something.
That's another reason to get the salmon for lunch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if
exactly.
you know-
wife calling the audible for dinner is
you go.
definitely the
It's
reason.
great.
Yeah. So yes, that kind of happens. Or I just go home and I'm like, oh, I get to walk the dog. This is cool.
And you guys recently, own a house now.
Yeah,
right?
we bought a house.
We talked about this the last time you were in New York.
Yeah, we bought a house about a year ago.
Did you find a lot of comedy in the because I know
Yeah, totally.
Matt's a new
Yeah, we just
owner.
bought a
There was a
place.
lot
You
of
bought- you
lot
did?
of stress, but also I'm sure
A lot of it is just, and I've learned, because we've always lived in apartments and small apartments, and I've learned that just like a lot of marriage is just her yelling through the wall to me, Have you seen it's just sort of like muffled yelling through a wall, back and forth to each other before one of you has to like get up and actually open the door and be like, I haven't heard anything you've said because it's been extremely muffled.
if the air conditioning is on and the TV is on and she's calling from the bedroom, I have no
Right.
idea what she's saying.
No idea. No idea. And you're newly married too, right?
Yeah.
How long have you been married?
Since October. So what's that like?
Almost a year.
Almost. A
It's
year.
pretty great, right?
Yeah. Well, all the pressure's off because lead up to getting engaged, there's so much pressure.
yeah.
And then once you do it, then there's the pressure of planning the wedding and
Right.
getting all that done.
Right.
And then once the wedding happens, you're just back to normal.
Yeah.
Especially if you've already lived together, then it's like really like
Not much of a difference.
yeah,
Yeah.
great.
But yeah, buying a house was great and fortunate to be able to do it. And we did have a little incident the other day where I guess there's sort of this epidemic of people stealing packages off of
Yes, I've heard about
your
this.
doorsteps.
Yeah.
We have security cameras on the house, and literally we watched like these brazen criminals just
They're like
walk
grown
up our
men or are
steps.
they kids?
It was like probably a guy in his 20s and then like his girlfriend in her 20s, and they were both on bikes pushing a giant recycle bin full of assumably other people's stolen
It's a
shit.
crapshoot of a crime because you don't know what people are ordering.
No.
It's got to be kind of fun when you get back to your
Right, right.
compound
Like-
and you're opening up all these people's packages
Right.
and you're like,
Like
what?
a degenerate's Christmas almost.
like a criminal unboxing video.
Yeah, right. That's funny, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a huge
new YouTube
YouTube
situation.
following.
That's a new YouTube
Criminals
thing.
unboxing the shit
Yeah.
they stole.
Yeah. Well, he got 3 T-shirts, large, and then my wife got a box of like probably like a shampoo or something from beauty products are sent to
Dog
her all the time.
treats.
So yeah, right, exactly.
I almost went to jail for dog treats.
yeah.
I wonder if you could throw them off by just like wrapping up packages full of like human shit and like,
I did think
leaving
about
it on
that.
your like
Yeah.
thing.
I
And
did
just
think about
waiting
that.
for them to steal it. Like we're never coming back.
Yeah.
Soda stream refill. Oh man, these guys suck.
funny.
Avoid 1305.
The
Nespresso capsules. I don't even have the machine.
Oh, now we gotta find somebody who order the machine.
just for TV collapsible hose. Well, those don't work after a month.
But then there's got to be the days they rip open a package and they're like, Time Life Sound of the 80s, 19
yeah.
CDs, yeah.
Yeah.
Throw it on.
Have we stolen a CD player? We
And
have.
I really love to see it tonight. They're like, what a score.
Yeah, what a decade of music.
England Dan and John Ford Coley.
Oh, yeah.
This was so worth it.
This is it.
This is it. I can't believe I'm
Not in love anymore.
A decade of the doobies.
A decade of the doobies.
I love it. That's great.
This is. What if you had just one day just played all Doobie Brothers on TRL? You should.
Oh, that'd be great. That would have been great.
Yeah.
Yeah, Doobie Week.
Yeah.
I pitched it.
I bet you did.
We're doing Doobie Week.
Peebo Bryson. Remember you wanted to have Peebo Bryson on?
I was big into Peebo Bryson.
Yeah.
And you were like, we got to get him on the
We got to get Peebo.
He is probably the number one all-time Peebo.
There's no other
There's
Peebo.
no other.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like one.
Was Peebo short for something, or was it just Peebo?
Peabody.
Oh, Peabody?
No, I have no idea.
It might be. It might be.
There's Chibo across the street.
There is. Chibo and Peebo.
Named after Chibo Bryson, of course.
Chibo Bryson.
What a name. Peebo Bryson would have been a great running back.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like he
Backs in the eye.
he was Peebo Bryson when he was at University of Colorado. He finished fourth in the Heisman Trophy voting or something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give the ball to Give Peebo the rock.
Go, Peebo.
Yeah.
Anything else about Damien's day, or should we get to the blow?
Wait, what about it? Do you stay up late? Are you?
Oh yeah.
No,
Because you have your early morning regimen. So are you?
yeah,
Are you
10 in bed by 10:30, sleep maybe sometimes by 10:30, 11.
Are you watching stuff?
Yeah, well, my wife and I always watch television, like a couple episodes or whatever. We're right now we're currently watching like all the old episodes of Frasier.
Really?
Wait, really?
Yeah,
You know, there's a section of people who like put that up there with Seinfeld, Friends, Office.
I
like,
wouldn't put
Cheers.
it. It's a really solid sitcom. I wouldn't say it's a Seinfeld, but it's weird to watch it. There's sort of a nostalgia for us, like that we enjoy. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like the '90s.
It's mostly the theme song.
But
Oh,
man,
baby, I hear the
yeah.
loser calling. Tell Sally it's
all
spring.
over my face. Yeah.
Well, the fact that you're binge watching Frasier is the funny.
Well, so
Well, we
what-
binge watch everything else. Like we're
what's
done with
funny
like,
about that
friends
is
with
my
friends
my
from college and all
I
that.
think I talked.
oh, that was great, by the way.
Yeah,
My
I
bro-
hated the first like 3 episodes, and then I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my god, I love these people. These are great.
People, that show got such bad reviews, and I loved it.
I feel like that people only watch like the first 3 episodes, and
Yeah.
then reviewed it.
My-
But it got really good.
My brother has approached the whole binge watching craze in the Frasier. He binge watches shows like Knots Landing and Dallas.
That's great.
and
Wings.
Wing. He did all of Melrose Place.
That's great.
He's doing all old shows and he's catching up. And like my mom, when we were growing up, watched Dallas and Dynasty and all that shit. And now he's watched them all and he's like, "Mom, remember that episode when JR and she's like, I don't remember this."
35 years ago.
Yeah, I tried binge watching. I tried going back and watching all the Cheers, and it was like
Yeah.
a weird thing where I was like, even though I was enjoying it, I was like, like halfway through season 1, I was like, I just don't see myself watching 11 seasons of Cheers. I was like, I get that it's good, I like it, but I was just something about going back and watching comedies seems very pointless to me, even though I like them. Is that weird? I don't know.
Yeah.
I watched. We also watched the first few episodes of Cheers, and we found the same thing.
Yeah.
I was like, I recognize this is brilliant and great, and
But Cheers
everything,
changes. The first few episodes are like Coach.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
they're figuring out the
Diane.
dynamic between Sam and Diane.
Yeah.
But like later seasons, like once you get into the late Coach and then Woody and
Right.
then Kirstie Alley.
yeah.
And they
And
all
Frasier.
and Frasier and
Yeah.
all the and BB Newirth,
Right.
all the characters come in.
That pilot's insane. I mean, the pilot is so good. The first,
my brother
the
watched
cold open
all
to that
Family
pilot
Ties.
is amazing.
he
Oh,
watched
yeah, that-
every
yeah.
Family Ties, which is a great sitcom. I
Yep.
always throw that's like in my top 10.
Yep.
But you're right. But
Yeah.
in that era, they weren't strung together with like ongoing plots. the
Yeah,
way-
there's nothing to keep you going necessarily, like a drama
Right.
or like a serialized.
Right.
Yeah. Should we get to the blow
Yeah,
off?
let's get to your blow off.
How do you blow people? Is there a time recently when you've tried to get out of something in a creative way or tried to blow somebody off?
Yeah, I was out of town. Luckily, for someone wanted me to appear on a improv show as myself. They were doing like a TRL kind of a salute
I
to
can see the
MTV
flyer.
TRL. What is that?
I can see the flyer.
Yeah, of course you can. And I didn't want to do it. I just didn't want to do it. And so, luckily, my excuse was I was legitimate. I'm out of town.
Yeah.
But if I wasn't, I would have just said, nah, no thing. I've kind of stopped lying about things.
Yeah.
Like that. And I've like, it's really not my thing right now. It's not what I want to do.
Yeah.
And you'd be surprised it's met with thank you. Like, all right, cool. Thanks for being honest or whatever, you know.
As long as you return the email, I feel like there's so many people that don't like.
Yeah.
Like the worst is putting it out there and
not responding.
and there's no response.
Yeah, we've had a couple of people, like, honestly, I've asked them to do this podcast, and they've said, like, sorry, I really am not doing podcasts right now. And I'm like, that's a perfectly
that's fine.
legitimate response.
And people have asked me to do podcasts too. I kind of swore off podcasts just because it was the same questions about, you know, it was the same like 4 questions, which is always like, hey, how did you get started? What was MTV like? What was the craziest thing at MTV? Who was the most fun guest? Do you ever like those kind of things?
Sure.
And I'm like, you could just listen to another podcast and talk about that. So I did stop doing that. But I would just kind of say it. I would just say, hey, I'm not doing podcasts right now. You know,
you'll say you'll only do it if we want to find out what the lunch is. If you want to find out what the lunch is like,
if you want to find out what the lunch is at work,
I'll be happy.
I'm willing to drive 15 minutes.
Do you miss the lodge?
Yes. Oh my God, the lodge. My wife got food poisoning from the undercooked eggs at the lodge.
Really?
Once, yeah.
I told you the raw eggs are dangerous. I don't know why we're going over this.
Brought it right around.
But and you guys met at MTV.
We did. We met at MTV. We met at we met at MTV. She was a producer and I was a VJ.
That's unbelievable.
And I mean, we didn't date throughout all of MTV. We actually connected later in life.
Right.
But yeah, it started at MTV.
That's how you do it, man.
Probably one of many couples.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dave Grohl met his wife there.
There you go.
Jesse Camp met
drugs.
A meth dealer.
Oh, I think he knew. I think him and drugs. They've reconnected.
Jesse Camp's favorite meth dealer worked in the mailroom, and they became friends.
Dude, this has been so much fun.
This has been great. I hope this is entertaining.
Yeah, I think so. People don't need to.
Educational too.
You don't really need to plug Family Guy.
New season coming up in September.
Okay. Yeah, people should. I mean, you know.
At Damien Fahey on Twitter.
Sure.
Instagram as well.
You are, I will say, like, you tweet less often, but you're tweeting. I love seeing a nice Damien Fahey, because sometimes you do obviously tweet about what's going on in the world, but then also, like, sometimes I'll be like, that's just a good, solid joke about something that took my mind off whatever.
Oh, nice. I'm trying to do that more often. But the problem is, if I do tweet about, I had a tweet about, like, getting hit in the back of your foot with the grocery cart. Like, and I'm like, I put it up and I almost deleted it because for like 15 minutes, there's just like 14 retweets.
It feels
and then you put a Trump one up and it's like, look at the color of this guy's hair. 25 million retweets. You know,
it does feel like a hard time to complain about anything else.
Right. But I do like you. There's still room.
Yes, I agree.
You know what I mean? We're not in life. Things are bad, but we're not.
I feel like you're very good at pointing out really nuanced douchebaggery.
Oh wow! Like what?
Like a lot of your tweets are like when I wish I had an example of one.
Yeah.
But like when it's like you'll make an analogy to somebody who does something really nuanced douchebaggy.
Okay, I like that.
If I had an example, it'd be a better observation. But like I always look at you know like. I don't know. I'd have to go through your feed, but like you're very good at pointing out like idiosyncrasy things that like a really fun like the way some people make like very obscure sports reference.
Right.
You make very obscure like characteristics of people references.
Totally
in your punchlines. You know what I'm saying?
That I see.
Yeah,
totally.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
When you say douchebagger, you mean like the kind of guy who would like do CrossFit.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Here's my thing
I've done some CrossFit
I've been interested
tweets.
in CrossFit, but I'm afraid to do it because there's that section of haters out there that are like, "Oh, your knees will explode."
Yeah, no, I mean they will if you're stupid about it.
Right.
But it literally is like, you know, for me, I don't. It's everything's timed, and
you're in it for the workout.
I take my time. I make sure you want to make sure your movements are right because you're doing like Olympic lifting, which you know you want to make sure you have the technique. You know, instead of just being thrown into a class and be like, all right, do 100 deadlifts in 30 seconds, and it's like, no, I'm going to do 5 slow and not good ones. So that's the only.
I'm just scared of being part of a group.
That's how I
so you won't like it.
That's how I approach sex.
Yeah.
5 good pumps.
5 good pumps, and then you're done.
There you go.
And you're sweating.
Who needs? I don't want to like 20 like pretty terrible pumps.
And go out for pizza.
Uninformed pumps.
Yeah.
And there's a 1, 2.
Count them out.
Announce.
Women like it when you count it out.
Yeah.
God damn it, Damien.
Damn it.
What is that?
Have a goddamn life experience.
The Vince McMahon stories and impressions we used to do. Anyway, this was such a pleasure.
This is awesome. Yeah,
Great to
thanks for having me, guys. Very fun.
And stay busy.
Stay busy, everyone.
Stay busy.
Voicemail because I'm busy. Whenever I go with her, say I'm busy. And I'm gonna hit you later because I'm busy. Busy with her.